Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're tearing down a massive wall that stops so many people dead in their tracks when they're pursuing their dreams. We are talking about the ultimate modern business journey, building $1 million business without $1 million budget. Because, as it turns out, you don't actually need a massive bank account, a rich uncle, or fancy venture capital to build something that generates serious revenue. Let's dive right in and uncover the exact blueprint used by solo founders to go from literally $0 to $1 million in annual recurring revenue. So it begs the $1 million question. Do you actually need $1 million to make $1 million? For decades, that traditional Silicon Valley myth has been loud and clear, right? They tell you that you absolutely have to pitch to venture capitalists, give up a massive chunk of your company, hire this huge team, and burn through cash for months just to see if your idea even works. But the data, and the case studies we're digging into today, completely shatter that myth. You don't need their permission, and you definitely don't need their millions to get started.
Here's the roadmap for our journey today, built around 4 key pillars. First, al-fikra wa tatbiq, which is ideation. Second, our $0 bootstrapping strategy is strategiyat at-ta'sis as-sifri. Third, launching the MVP, al-muntaj al-awwal al-adna. And finally, marhalat al-tawassul, the scaling phase.
To anchor our philosophy today, let's look at Chris Galebale's fantastic book, The $100 Startup. This perfectly captures the core idea. Galebale studied 50 different individuals who built highly profitable businesses with an initial investment of, yeah, you guessed it, $100 or even less. The huge takeaway here? You can absolutely monetize your passions. By finding that exact sweet spot between what you love to do, what you're actually good at, and what other people are willing to pay for, you can create a super lucrative business right from your living room couch.
And hey, if you're still sitting there thinking you need a traditional corporate setup, you've got to check out Rework by the founders of Basecamp. It is such a refreshing reality check. It emphasizes that you need way less than you think to start. No massive office space, no huge staff, no endless meetings, and definitely no board of directors. All you really need to do is start doing and stop talking. The barriers to entry have literally never been lower.
Section 1. Ideation wal tatbiq, or ideation. This is where we figure out how to hunt down a profitable idea and solve a real problem in the market without needing a massive budget.
Now, what's really fascinating here is this concept from AI entrepreneur Sabrina Romanov. She calls it the deployment gap. Think about it. Right now, companies are adopting AI tools at record speed, but they literally have no idea how to actually use them. Technology is improving way faster than human adoption, and that gap, well, that is your golden opportunity. If you can bridge that deployment gap, maybe by teaching AI tools or setting them up for local businesses, you can build a massive, one-person, revenue-generating machine.
During this ideation phase, you basically have to completely rethink who you're selling to. The old way of finding customers was all about rigid demographics, age, gender, race, zip code. But the new way, as highlighted in the $100 startup model, it is all about targeting shared interests, values, beliefs, and passions. You aren't just selling to males aged 25 to 34 in London anymore. You are selling to people who are passionately obsessed with a specific niche, no matter where they live in the world.
Which brings us to one of the most powerful patterns we see among bootstrapped winners. They distribute before they build. They do not build a product in a secret cave. Take a look at founders like Peter Levels. He actually built an audience of over 100,000 people by just sharing his journey as a digital nomad well before he ever launched his successful AI photo product. You earn the right to launch by providing value and earning trust in a niche for months beforehand. Build the audience first, then just sell them exactly what they're asking for.
Section 2. Strategiyat at-ta'sis as-sifri, or bootstrapping. This is all about building your foundation for basically $0 by leveraging some incredible free tools. The very first thing you need to do is take that bloated 50-page business plan and just throw it in the trash. Seriously, the $100 startup methodology advocates for a one-page business plan. Why? Because let's be honest, most people use long business plans as a really fancy form of procrastination. A one-page plan forces you to focus strictly on action. You figure out your offer, your target audience, your core benefit, and you just plan as you go. Action over perfection every single time.
To actually execute this bootstrapping strategy, you need the right tech stack. And the crazy thing is, you can run an entire business on free or incredibly cheap tools today. You've got Wave apps giving you 100% free financial accounting and invoicing. You can use Rocket Lawyer for your essential legal forms. You've got Visma to create absolutely stunning marketing graphics, plus MailChimp and Hootsuite to manage your email and social media. Literally, one person with these tools can now do the exact same work that used to require a 10-person agency.
Moving on to Section 3, Al-Muntaj al-Awalaya al-Adna, the minimum viable product. This is all about rapidly launching a simple version of your product to test real demand. Understanding this new timeline fundamentally changes the game. In the old days, you'd spend $10,000 and 4 exhausting months building an app only to launch it and find out, crickets. Nobody wants it. You're out of money, you're out of energy. But Sabrina Romanov highlights this totally fascinating new method called vibe coding using AI. Now, you can compress that 4-month cycle down to 3 weeks, or honestly, even a single week. You spend a fraction of the cost, maybe a few $100 on software tools, and you actually still have the energy left over to pivot, get user feedback, and market the thing.
And why is that speed so incredibly important? Because your biggest enemy right now is not the competition, it's your own inertia. The golden rule for your MVP is to market before manufacturing. You have to test that there is actual demand before you spend months perfecting a product. Getting that very first sale as quickly as humanly possible is just a massive morale booster. It proves your concept and gives you that vital, undeniable momentum to keep going. Which actually brings us to this highly provocative quote from Chris Guillebeau. Advertising is like sex. Only losers pay for it. Now, okay, while that's a bit cheeky, the core truth there is absolutely vital for bootstrappers. If your entire strategy relies on paying for expensive Facebook or Google ads right out of the gate, you are playing a venture capital game on a bootstrapper's budget. And the math just doesn't work. Organic distribution, community building, and content marketing are far more valuable and ultimately way more sustainable.
Finally, Section 4, Marhalat al-Tawasu, or scaling. You've got momentum, now how do we aggressively scale this thing without bringing in outside investors?
A truly crucial point here is how you price your product. Listen, bootstrapped winners do not price based on what it costs to run their servers plus a cute little profit margin. No, they price for value. Take a product like ShipFast, for example. It charges over $200 for a code template. It costs the creator almost nothing to actually deliver that digital file. But to a developer, it saves them 30+ hours of grueling, tedious work. That outcome is massively valuable. So price based on the time and the pain you are saving your customer. And if you think staying bootstrapped means you have to stay small, think again. Consider these heavy-hitting unicorns that reached massive status during their scaling phase. MailChimp used a freemium model and fiercely reinvested their own profits, eventually selling for $12 billion without taking a dime of VC funding. Basecamp focused strictly on profitability and building a highly scalable product from day one. And GitHub built a billion-dollar platform by keeping their operations lean and obsessing over their community. They scaled aggressively, but entirely on their own terms. Finally, as you start to grow, you might be wondering how to handle the extra workload without suddenly hiring a 50-person team. The $100 startup introduces this genius concept called the hub and spoke model. Essentially, you franchise yourself. Instead of doing everything manually, you create scalable processes, you leverage smart partnerships, or you intelligently outsource specific, repeatable tasks. You remain the hub in the center, but you build out spokes that allow the business to grow at your ideal pace, keeping your personal freedom entirely intact. And that really captures the entire amazing journey. We've seen exactly how to find the idea, build it for free, launch in days, and scale to millions. You don't need $1 million anymore. You have the free tools. You have the blueprint. So the biggest question left is this: what is actually stopping you from launching today? Get out there, build your audience, and get that first sale. Thank you so much for exploring this with me on This Explainer, and I'll see you on the next one.